Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. We are going to do a bookish favorites tag today. We are bringing the tag back. I feel like tags are like OG booktube. They feel so nostalgic, but this tag in particular was inspired by Katie, who actually created this specific set of tags that we're going to be going through today. So thank you, Katie, for this tag, and also thanks for tagging me in your video where you did this tag. But yeah, Katie created this tag, and then I saw Lottie do this tag as well, so I just thought it looked like so much fun, and I wanted to do one on my own. So I think there are 11, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 14 tags to get through, so let's just get straight into it. I'm also doing this standing because I have actually, other than just writing down the tags in my notes, I have not thought of like what books or what I'm gonna choose for each tag. So I thought standing up, being mobile would be the best way to do this because I feel like I'm just going to be browsing around my shelves and finding books that fit tags as we go. So we're gonna hang out. We're gonna be a little like more mobile and active in this one. And the first tag, oh, this is going to be so hard. I probably should have thought these out before turning the camera on, but 5 books that define your taste. Okay, 5 books that define my taste. So these are probably going to be favorite books, but maybe like not necessarily have to be my favorite books, but just like 5 books to encompass my entire reading taste, because I feel like I do read a lot of fantasy, obviously, but I do have like quite a range, I think. So this should not be that hard. Oh, I know the first one. Number 1, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. R.F. Kuang is one of my favorite authors of all time, but the Poppy War trilogy is my favorite from her. It is probably, honestly, my favorite of all time. It's so good, but I feel like this represents my book taste very well because first of all, it is high fantasy. It is very political. It is quite epic battle war heavy as well, which I do tend to like in fantasies. We have a strong female main character, but we also struggle with morality, and all of our characters are like very, very morally gray, and I love that. I love an imperfect character. And then also this has a lot of historical element to it, which I love. And then also obviously like lots of like Asian roots that are tied in here, and me being an Asian reader, I definitely love that. So number 1, The Poppy War. What else should I do? What else should I do? I'm also trying to think of books that like represent my book taste today versus books that like were part of my formative years, which I think that's another book tag. So those will have their own time to shine as well. But what should I do next? This should not be this hard. Okay. I'm actually gonna do The Ballad of Never After for my second book because I feel like this shows maybe like the softer side of me, the more YA side of me, because I do love reading about very serious things, but then I also have this soft side where I love the romance, I love the whimsy, I love the fairy tale, I love maybe just something that's a bit more simple and easy to read. And so a YA fantasy or a YA romantasy is definitely up my alley as well. And also this specific book is one of my favorites. It's just so good. I think this is like peak Stephanie Garber, The Ballad of Never After. And then going back to my like historical roots, I definitely love just like a good historical fiction. Kristen Hanna is definitely my go-to for historical fiction, and The Nightingale is just absolutely incredible by her. So this represents the like historical emotional side of me. And then I think we need a little bit more romance in here. I have just the one. It's going to have to be Happy Place by Emily Henry. I do love a good romance, but I also do not love romances where it is just romance. And Emily Henry, I feel like, ties in contemporary fiction with romance very, very well. This book in particular highlights friendships in adulthood as well, and that really, really hit deep in my soul. So I love this book. Definitely a really good one to represent my taste in romance. But yeah, Happy Place by Emily Henry, one of my favorites. Then what do I do? What do I do with the last one? Book number 5. Oh, it's so hard to encapsulate my book taste in 5 books because I feel like I have so many facets, like different sides of what I like to read. I'm very much a mood reader. I want to say A Song to Drown Rivers, but I feel like we've covered the like mythology element and also like the Asian folklore element and the fantasy and romance and historical element with that one too. Oh, okay. I think I think I know. We're gonna do The Fragile Threads of Power by V. Schwab for the 5th pick. Again, another fantasy, but this one has a little bit more of like an urban, darker, grungy feel. And I think that is something that I like as well. Like, I love a good period historical fantasy, but sometimes the urban ones hit for me too, and I have not shown this side of me in my 5-book selection yet. But this, and also, you know, this is connected to the Shades of Magic, like the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, but I love this, like a good multi-POV fantasy. We have like darkness, and we have also morally gray characters, and also just very interesting, like a very interesting cast of characters, and also interesting villains. I think this series does a really, really, really great job with that. I'm gonna pick this as my 5th book. I could have also gone somewhere a little bit more gothic as well for the 5th pick, or also something more mystery. I was also thinking maybe something like The Unmaking of June Farrow, because I love a magical realism mystery tie-in as well, but there's just so much to choose from. But we're not gonna look back. This is going to be the 5th book. Okay, let's see what the next tag is. Books you've loved in different eras of your life. Okay, how much time do we have here? Because there's a lot to go through. I'm gonna be more stationary in this one because a lot of my childhood books are indeed still at my parents' house. I don't have them here, so we're gonna pop them up on screen instead of pulling them off the shelves for the second tag. We're gonna start, should we start from the very beginning? The first books I remember that had like an emotional impact from me were The Velveteen Rabbit, made me cry as a child, and also The Polar Express. Those 2 books were the books that like made me feel things. I then graduated to maybe like Robert Munsch books. I definitely went through a big Robert Munsch phase. I really liked The Paper Bag Princess in particular. That one has stuck with me over the years. And then after that, what was next? Maybe like my Goosebumps phase? There were some Goosebumps books that I definitely did not love. Some of them were like too freaky for me. I don't remember what it was called, but there was the one with the mask, and he like put the mask on and it wouldn't come off, and then it like started changing him because it was like an evil mask. Hated that one. That one made me feel so claustrophobic. Any of the ones with the dummy and any of the ones with the gnomes, I did not like those ones, but there were definitely some Goosebumps books that I liked, and I can't think of them right now. But I did read a lot of Goosebumps books. What's next? Oh, I went through like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I loved those books like when I was a teenager-ish, preteen maybe. And then, oh, I definitely just skipped over Harry Potter, but that was obviously very formative. And that was the first fantasy world that felt real to me. So that definitely brought up the fantasy lover from inside of me. I am a Ravenclaw, by the way, if you did not know yet. And then we did like a series of unfortunate events. I also loved the Darren Shan vampire series. I always forget the name. Every single time I forget the name, but I did read those as well. Silverwing, loved that. I'm probably missing so many favorites. But oh, I missed the Crestomancy series. That was obviously younger, but I loved those too, by Diane Wynne Jones. And oh goodness, we're going out of order now. Let's go into teenage years. So in teenage years, you know, I did the whole Twilight thing. I did the whole Divergent thing, the Maze Runner thing. Let's go past high school. Let's go to like university years. I did stop reading like consistently during university because I feel like I just had so much to do. I had a lot going on. I also joined a lot of extracurriculars. I just did not have a lot of time to read it all. But oh my god, I missed the Hunger Games. But yeah, obviously the Hunger Games. Back to adulthood, I read like all the Lord of the Rings books and then the Game of Thrones books, like A Song of Ice and Fire. I went through, this is probably back in time too, the John Green books like Paper Towns, The Fault in Our Stars. I read Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Like, this is my romance era. I did read a lot of Nicholas Sparks as well. What was it? The Last Song, and just like a lot of other Nicholas Sparks books. I'm probably missing so much more, but I feel like that was a good list. I feel like we could go on forever and ever about the books that I've read and loved in the past through my different phases of life, but I feel like that's a good list. So we're gonna cap it there because I could go on forever. I keep, like, my brain keeps remembering like moments and eras in my life and like being like, oh yeah, that book too. Oh, The Uglies. Oh my gosh, that was part of like the whole dystopian era as well in high school. Anyways, let's move on to the next tag. Favorite genres. Okay, we kind of covered this in the 5 books to define my book taste, but obviously a fantasy, a romantasy, a historical, I love like a literary fiction and a contemporary fiction as well, a magical realism romance. I think you guys know my favorite genres. Books that make me cry. Is that a genre? It is for me. And then yeah, romance. I'm like looking at my shelves to see if there's anything in any other genre. Cozy fantasy, as long as it has a plot. I will read a book if it has good reviews. Next tag, favorite authors. This shelf, for one. I'm not gonna pull all of the books from the shelf, but just to go through them, we have V. Schwab, obviously, Kristen Hanna, Sarah J. Maas, R.F. Kuang, Stephanie Garber. Oh, James Islington's on here as well. I would say James Islington is on his way to becoming a favorite author. I've only read one book from him, so it's hard to say. It's hard to like confirm that if he is a favorite author or not, but The Will of the Many is definitely one of my favorite books. And as the series goes on, James Islington could work his way up to my favorite authors list. Leigh Bardugo, love. And then for like romance, Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez, Cara Bastione, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Oh goodness, there are so many. On this side here, I'll pull some of these out because you can't see behind you. Frederick Bachman is definitely a top fave. Anne Liang, love. And also M.L. Wang. I think that's a pretty good list. We'll leave that one there as well because that's another one I think I could go on forever and ever and ever. Let's move on to the next one. Favorite form of reading. Okay, I am such a hardcore physical copy girly. There is no feeling like just holding a book, feeling the pages, flipping the pages, feeling the weight of it in my hands gives me comfort. And just, yeah, the sound of the pages like rustling as you flip them. I will love a hardcover. I will love a paperback. I do not discriminate, but the paperback has to be floppy. Also, do not like a deckled edge because it just makes the page flips harder. Do I have a deckled edge to show you? I've shown you guys deckled edges. You guys know what that looks like. And I do not like, and this is a newfound dislike for me, but I do not like a sprayed edge that is like crumbly. I did actually just bring this up in a recent vlog, but just to bring it up again and show an example, Iron Flame with the solid sprayed edge, very, very crispy, very crunchy. It's when the pages like stick together, and also it's like very uneven. Like it very much feels like someone just spray painted the book. But I love a sprayed edge when it's like an artwork and it looks like it was actually like printed on somehow, and it's not crispy and crinkly, and it doesn't make the book feel like thick and clunky, and it doesn't feel like the sprayed edge is going to fall off on your fingers when you touch them. So good sprayed edge, bad sprayed edge. But yeah, just in general, I'm a physical book girly first and foremost. I do have my Kindle and I do enjoy reading on my Kindle as well for like times, especially when I'm traveling, when I'm out and about. It's obviously a lot nicer and lighter to carry a Kindle around with you. Also, when you're cold and you don't want your arms to be out, you want to be like huddled in a blanket. I have like a Kindle stand. Here, I'll show you. I have this Kindle pillow stand and clicker set, so I can just put my Kindle in here and hold my clicker like under the blanket with me and just like click to turn the page, and it's so hands-free and lovely and cozy. So I do love that as well. But what I don't love about Kindle is if I start a new series on my Kindle and then I end up loving the book and want to continue in the series, I feel bad about like buying a physical copy of a book that I've already read, because like, why am I buying it again just to display it on my shelf? It's like an inner battle that I have, because on one hand I do want like a lovely filled library room with all the books that I've read and love, but on the other hand, it's like, why am I spending money on something that I've already consumed and I probably will not reread? I just want it to look nice on a shelf. I do have a lot of inner battle with that, but I'm like a words on a page reader, whether it's physical, whether it's on Kindle, but I do not love an audiobook. I have tried a few times to get into audiobooks and I feel like I just cannot focus on them, because when I listen to things, I'm usually listening while I'm doing something. Like while I'm working, I will listen to a podcast or a YouTube video, and same thing if I'm like going out, like if I'm on the bus or something, I'll either bring a book with me or I will listen to a podcast. But I feel like I cannot listen to a book. Like with a podcast or a YouTube video, if you like zone out for 5 minutes and then come back to it, it's fine. You're not completely lost. But if you zone out during an audiobook, you miss so much. And I tried to listen to an audiobook once and I just kept finding I had to like rewind it because I was not actually absorbing any information. And so I did not love it. I feel like audiobooks can help you read faster, I guess, because I know a lot of people listen to audiobooks on like 3 times speed or whatever, but I just feel like I don't absorb as much with them. So I can't really listen to audiobooks. It doesn't work for me. All that to say, I read words on a page, whether it's e-reader or physical, mostly physical. Next tag is favorite book characters. How many do we do? This is very dangerous. Oh goodness, what do I do? I mean, from Throne of Glass, Aelin, for sure. I absolutely love Luke from the Shades of Magic series. One of my top characters of all time. I love him so much. I think he's so much fun. Same vibe goes for actually my current read, Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, part of the Grishaverse. Nikolai. I feel like Nikolai and Luke give very similar vibes to each other, and I love them both so much. Who else do I love? I love a lot of characters. Oh, Benji from the Beartown world. I will do anything to protect Benji. Anything. I'm getting so lazy. I'm not even pulling books off shelves anymore. I'm just pointing. And not even pointing well because like these books are so far from you guys and they're probably blurred because they're in the background. But I hope you understand what I mean when I'm like pointing to general directions. But from the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, Evangeline and Jax, both of them actually. Love them so dearly. Oh my god, I'm not gonna pull this book off the shelf because it's under Mother Egg and there's just a lot of setup around it, but I'm pointing to Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. Shep in that book is my favorite real-world contemporary fiction book boyfriend. Love him. Perfect. And what else? Probably so many other characters. I could go on forever, but we're gonna cap it. We're gonna stop. Stop talking, Jamie. Next tag is favorite series. I feel like I'm repeating a lot in this tag, and that's why maybe I should have thought about my answers in advance so I could put more variety in this video, because I feel like I'm just bringing up the same favorite books over and over and over again. But anything on that shelf, the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab, Throne of Glass, Akatar by Sarah J. Maas, The Poppy War, Once Upon a Broken Heart, the Beartown trilogy. I'm not gonna pull that one. Actually, it's right here. Beartown trilogy. This is the second book, but definitely one of my favorites. Again, I still have to read the third book, but it is definitely up there. I really liked Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I'm overwhelmed. There's too many. Divine Rivals. I'm gonna pull one. No, I'm not. It's too stuck on there. And we're gonna end it. Series I am most excited to finish. Okay, so I should have saved Beartown for this tag actually, because I'm not done. I'm also excited to finish this duology. This is the King of Scars duology in the Grishaverse by Leigh Bardugo, and this is my current read, so I'm just about to be finished it. And then pretty much anything on this top cart of my TBR that I could read for series. I'm actually excited about the Daisy Hates and Magnolia Park series. I have 2 more to catch up in that series, and I'm actually excited to continue reading these books. It was a rough ride for me at the beginning. I did not like the first Magnolia book really at all, but the series has grown on me, so I'm definitely excited to continue reading those. And I'm gonna stop being lazy. I'm gonna actually bring books up to you. This is the 3rd book in the Bones Season series. There are 5 books out so far, and there are gonna be 7 books in total, so there's a lot left to go, but I'm also excited to continue reading in this series. And also, I'm still needing to continue the Jade City series. So this is the 2nd book, Jade War, and it's been a while since I've read the 1st book, but I am excited to dive back into it. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker is actually a romantasy that I did enjoy last year. So the new book comes out, what is it, August or September. So I'm excited to continue in this one as well. And then also I'm gonna vaguely point in that direction again, but The Will of the Many, that book comes out in November, I believe. So I'm excited to continue that one as well. Book I predict will be a favorite. Just looking at my like current monthly TBR for May, definitely Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. How many Kristen Hannas have I read? I think I've read 4, and I've loved 3 out of 4 of them. The only one I didn't absolutely love was The Four Winds, just because it felt very repetitive to me. It was a little bit too mundane, just repetition of the same things happening to the characters. It still did hit me emotional, but I just think compared to her other books, it wasn't my absolute favorite, because I loved The Nightingale, I loved The Great Alone, and I also loved The Women, and I've heard really amazing things about Firefly Lane, so I predict this will be a favorite as well. Let's look at my TBR card. The Winners by Frederick Bachman. I think this will definitely be a favorite. I've loved everything by Frederick Bachman, and I've loved the first 2 books in the series, so I can't see any reason why I wouldn't like this. Oh, Promise Me Sunshine, I think has a high chance of being a favorite because I loved Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, and I've only read the 1 book from her, but I feel like I already have so much faith in her as an author, so this is definitely a predicted favorite as well. Ooh, also Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I feel like just everything I've heard about this book has been positive. I haven't seen anyone dislike this book, so really need to get to this. Also, Freya loves this book, and Freya and I have very, very similar book tastes, so yeah, I definitely need to get into this one. Another book I think I will love is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is another series that I've been dying to get into, but I just want to finish some more series before I start something new, especially because this one's pretty big. I think it's like 4 books out at the moment, and there's more coming. This has been eyeing me from my TBR cart, and I really want to pick this up soon because, again, I've just heard amazing things. I've heard this is similar to The Will of the Many as well, which I loved, so another reason that I will likely love this book. Oh, this one. I have heard so much about this one very recently. It's like just blown up on all social media. Silver Elite by Dani Francis. This is a debut author, so who knows if I'll like her writing or not, but I've just, from everything I've heard, people say like if you loved Fourth Wing, if you loved Divergent, you would love this. So I don't know, I feel like there's a high chance of me liking this one as well. And then just to pull one more off the TBR that I will probably love as a favorite is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. Again, just like it's a Fredrik Backman, I'm gonna love it. Literally such a masterful author. But let's see what the next tag is. Series I'm excited to start. Okay, I feel like I answered that as well, but An Ember in the Ashes, Red Rising, and kind of the Stormlight Archives. I have The Way of Kings sitting on my TBR, and I'm so intimidated to start it, but also I don't know if I will love it because I didn't love Mistborn, which I know is an unpopular opinion. I loved the first book. I loved the first Mistborn book, but I feel like the second book kind of just took me out of it. I didn't really love the second, and by the third, I feel like the third book could have been really good, but by that point I just didn't care because I didn't love the second book, which I know, unpopular opinion, totally a me thing. But all that to say, I just have not been completely sold by Brandon Sanderson yet. But The Way of Kings, like the Stormlight Archives, is, I feel like, the series that everyone says is like the god tier series by him, so I am definitely intrigued and interested, and I will pick that one up at some point. Prettiest books and special editions. Oh goodness, okay, I have to pull this one. This is probably my most prized possession in here. This is the 10-year special edition of The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It's got these beautiful sprayed edges, it has a beautiful cover design, and it's also, oh, it has like beautiful end papers as well, but I had no idea this was coming to me. This was a complete surprise. It arrived in the mail. It was PR, so it was sent by the publisher, but it is personalized and signed by Kristen Hanna herself, and I just about cried when I opened this box and saw what was inside. So this is definitely one of my most prized possessions, at least in terms of books. I do have the Mina Lima edition of Harry Potter, the first one, The Philosopher's Stone. These are just gorgeous. These are gorgeous. Huffy actually bought me this as a gift. It's all like, I don't want to open it with one hand because I'm going to do something weird and ruin it. But yeah, it's all of this like lovely art and pop-ups inside, and it's just a lovely illustrated edition of The Philosopher's Stone. I just think the Five Broken Blades series are just all gorgeous in general. The front covers are cool, but I feel like the star of these books is definitely the sprayed edges. They are absolutely stunning. Some of the best sprayed edges I've ever seen. And the third book is coming out soon, but if you put the books beside each other, they will actually all line up to create this scene that like seams together. And I just think that is the most gorgeous idea. I am definitely displaying these books like sprayed edge facing out just because they, you know, they're gorgeous, but definitely these are stunning. And should we do one more? I mean, these aren't really special edition, they're just book of the month edition, but I did recently get my copies of Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch signed by Kristen Ciccarelli, so I mean that makes them special, I think. But I think I'm gonna get a lot more special things coming soon. In June, I'm actually going to the Toronto stop of the V.E. Schwab tour for Bury Our Bones, and that tour is going to come with like the, I don't know if it's like a special edition of the book, but it's gonna come with the book and a signing with V.E. Schwab, so that's gonna definitely be one of my most prized book possessions. And R.F. Kuang actually has announced she's gonna come to Toronto in September for her release of Catabasis or Catabasis, and that one's gonna be special edition signed and also with like the Canadian tour stamp or something like that. So I have yet to get tickets for that. Tickets for that come out I think in June, or no, they come out in July. So I've set my alarm. I'm gonna do my best to get a ticket to that because I feel like I need to go to that. Like, how much have I talked about R.F. Kuang in this video? I would be just so thrilled to go to her event. But there are some special editions. Next tag is, what would you buy right now? Guys, that is a dangerous question because I am, as you guys know, in the middle of like a TBR takedown challenge where I want to read down my TBR down to 35 books. So I am trying to read books faster than I buy them. So I'm on like a half book buying ban where I'm still subscribed to Book of the Month. So I'm still getting those every month. I also, you know, I do get book PR, so I'm not gonna like deny a book PR package. But I think in terms of books I would buy right now, if I could, it would definitely be continuations of series I'm in the middle of. Like the Prison Healer series, I only have the first book and I definitely want the other two to continue the series. I would buy Jade Legacy. That's the third book in the series, I think, so I can complete that one as well. Oh, and the Dark Mirror. That's the fifth book in the Bone Season series. So basically any book that will help me finish a series or at least like get up to date in a series are definitely my top priority. Second last tag is favorite bookish merch and shops. I'm not gonna grab my favorite book merch pieces because again, I'm lazy. I did not plan this tag out. I just turned on the camera and started talking and I didn't grab things in advance. But I can talk about some of my favorite places to get book merch. One of them is definitely Hopeless Romantic Books. I've talked about them so many times. They are like a specialty romance bookstore in Toronto. So adorable, but they always have a lot of really cute book merch from all local like Toronto or Ontario small businesses as well. So you're just like all around supporting local if you purchase from them. So I love that, and they have the cutest stuff. I also do love House of Jupiter, but that is overseas. I think that's an American brand. I think they're in the US. Their stuff is obviously all very cute and I do own a lot of their stuff. I love Enchanted Oddities, very fantasy focused, and they are based actually I think in Montreal, so also Canadian, which I love. Oh my goodness. What else? I actually have not ordered from this shop before, but I've recently followed them. I think their stuff is so cute, but the Common Room shop, and I feel like I need to place an order soon because yeah, her stuff is just absolutely adorable as well. And I feel like she seems like the sweetest, kindest person ever. Those are some good book merch shops. And then the last tag, favorite book creators. Oh goodness, this one's gonna be very hard because I also don't want to leave anyone out, and I have so many favorite book creators because I watch Booktube. Like I'm on Booktube, but I also am like an avid devourer of Booktube content as well. So I mean, definitely Katie, she inspired this book tag. I also love her videos. She makes you feel like you're just hanging out with her, and her videos are just so like comfortable and cozy to watch. So I love Katie. She also, oh my god, just got the cutest cat. I'm obsessed. I watched her recent vlog where she adopts a cat and I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to see that cat in all of her future videos. So definitely Katie. Also Lottie, obviously. She also tagged me to do this book tag, but I also love her videos as well. She has a very soothing voice. I also really love her book taste, and she gives like really good insight to the book she reads as well. So absolutely love that. Freya, obviously I'm obsessed with. Her videos are just like so comforting to me. We also, as I mentioned, have very, very similar book taste, and recently I feel like we've just been, I don't know, we've been talking a lot as well about book stuff and what we're reading, and I just love her. She is an absolute angel. Olive's Book Nook, I love. She also has very similar book taste to me, and her videos are just, they're very long form, very soothing, very calming, very like slow, which is a lovely change in this fast-paced, hectic life world of ours. I love watching Sarah's videos. I feel like she is just kind of like the image of Booktube. Her videos are very comforting. I love the effort she puts into them, and she's also like a very soothing presence. Ellen, obviously, love Bestie Ellen. She is also one of the most kind souls ever. If you love romance books, she is your girl. She is such an expert on romance, and her videos also just feel like you are hanging out with a best friend. I love Faith. She has like such good high energy in her videos, and she also just seems like she would be such a cool, amazing, upbeat person to hang out with. Emmy, she reads so much. I do not understand how she reads so quick. It is a superpower, but I love her as well, and her videos are all very cozy, and she's also just like a comfort. Oh goodness, there are so many. I'm gonna pop everyone up on screen. Okay, because I could talk for literally a full hour about the booktubers I watch. And so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it up here. Literally, I consistently watch every single one of these booktubers. I put them on while I'm working. I have them on with me at all times. So there we have it. And I think that was the last tag, right? Hold on, let's check. Yeah. that was the last tag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a little bit of a hectic book tag because I did not think of things in advance, but I also feel like that makes the book tag a little bit more fun because you are getting literally my like raw, honest reactions without like thinking too hard about it. But I do hope you liked this very chaotic book tag video. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what some of your answers to these book tags were. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!